Hello, thank you for joining with me. Today we are on lesson 301, but we are moving into section 9 of part 2 of the workbook. What is the second coming? Christ's second coming, which is as sure as God, is merely the correction of mistakes and the return of sanity. It is the all-inclusive nature of Christ's second coming that permits it to embrace the world and hold you safe within its gentle advent, which encompasses all living things with you. The second coming ends the lessons that the Holy Spirit teaches, making way for the last judgment, in which learning ends up in one last summary that will extend beyond itself and reaches up to God. The second coming is the one event in time which time itself cannot affect. Pray that the second coming will be soon, but do not rest with that. It needs your eyes and ears and hands and feet. It needs your voice. And most of all, it needs your willingness. Let us rejoice that we can do God's will and join together in its holy light. Behold, the Son of God is one in us, and we can reach our Father's love through him. What is the second coming? What is the last judgment? These two terms are used infrequently in A Course in Miracles, and the second coming only in the early chapters of the text. There, Jesus explains that the first coming of Christ was the creation, after which the Son of God seemed to fall asleep and wander into the ego's dream of materiality, that's hard for me to say, bringing about his need to be awakened. On the individual level, this awakening occurs through the attainment of the real world, the total undoing of the Son's dream. However, is the second coming, when the entire sonship has made the right choice as one son to awaken to the fact of its identity as Christ. The last or final judgment is our acceptance again as one son, that we were wrong and the Holy Spirit was right. I'm going to read the first of two places in the text where Jesus discusses the second coming and revises the traditional Christian view. The first coming of Christ is merely another name for the creation, for Christ is the Son of God. The second coming of Christ means nothing more than the end of the ego's rule and the healing of the mind. I was created like you in the first, and I have called you to join with me in the second. I am in charge of the second coming. And that's from the text, chapter 4, section 4, paragraph 10. So we can see in A Course in Miracles teachings about the second coming and the last judgment are corrections for the Christian concepts which are heavily laden with thoughts of fear and punishment. Here is another paragraph from the text, chapter 9, section 4, paragraph 9. Do not fear the last judgment, but welcome it, and do not wait, for the ego's time is borrowed, and that's in quotes, from your eternity. This is the second coming that was made for you as the first was created. The second coming is merely the return of sense. Can this possibly be fearful? The Son of God is Christ in each of us. Therefore, if we attack another, we attack ourselves, reflecting our desire not to return home, for we return together or not at all, and that's from the text, chapter 19. However, when we choose to forgive, we become one with Christ in purpose. The precursor to becoming one with Him in self, capital S. His love then transforms our bodies into His instruments of salvation, and we are led gently home with Him. The journey to our oneness is made complete. And this is from the text, chapter 24, section 5. Christ's hand holds all His brothers in Himself. He gives them vision for their sightless eyes and sings to them of heaven, that their ears may hear no more the sound of battle and of death. He reaches through them, holding out His hand, that everyone may bless all living things and see their holiness. And He rejoices that these sights are yours, to look upon with Him and share His joy. The sight of Christ is all there is to see. The song of Christ is all there is to hear. The hand of Christ is all there is to hold. There is no journey but to walk with Him. And now let's move into lesson 301. And God Himself shall wipe away all tears. Father, unless I judge, I cannot weep, nor can I suffer pain, or feel I am abandoned or unneeded in the world. This is my home because I judge it not, and therefore is it only what you will. Let me today behold it uncondemned. Through happy eyes, forgiveness has released from all distortion. Let me see your world instead of mine, and all the tears I shed will be forgotten, for their source is gone. Father, I will not judge your world today. God's world is happy. Those who look on it can only add their joy to it and bless it as a cause of further joy in them. We wept because we did not understand, but we have learned the world we saw as false, and we will look upon God's world today. And God Himself shall wipe away all tears. Let us move into a silent 5-minute meditation. Sit with your back supported, head and neck free, if you want to, or sit any way you like. And then start with a 4x breath in through the nose for a count of 4. Hold it at the top and exhale through the mouth for a count of 8. And use today's lesson as your mantra or the mantra of your choice. And God Himself shall wipe away all tears. and God himself shall wipe away all tears. This title repeats the biblical verse first stated in Isaiah 25:8 and then again in Revelation 7:17 and 21:4. Since God does not see tears, let alone wipe them away, the meaning here is that his love, present in our minds through the Holy Spirit, undoes the tears that are the inherent effects of the ego's thought system. We failed to understand that we were wrong, actually believing our separated existence as special individuals was real. Moreover, we were convinced that the world came from separation, was true. However, recognizing the pain this belief brought us, we happily realize our mistake and that it was the Holy Spirit's voice that spoke the truth. We thus choose his truth through the holy instant and experience the limitless joy God's real world holds out to us as our tears gently disappear into his love. And this is from text chapter 16, section 6, paragraph 11. The joy of heaven, which has no limit, is increased with each light that returns to take its rightful place within it. Wait no longer for the love of God and you, and may the holy instant speed you on the way, as it will surely do if you but let it come to you. Lesson 301. And God himself shall wipe away all tears. I love you. Thank you so much for joining with me. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow.